Hi there, this is Dr. Cindy Schreiber. Nice to be with you again today. We are working with sobriety, the subconscious mind 30-day sobriety solution. And we are all ready to day 12, the subconscious mind solution. I suggest you start with the very first one. You can skip around on these and go back and forth, but it's better to get it from the very start. Have your journals ready. This is the work we're going to do towards healing your life. And on this chapter 12, it is titled The Subconscious Mind Solution. Leverage the power of your subconscious mind. And I just love Dr. Bruce Lipton. And here is a saying by him. I have his book sitting right here. I'll try to put it up in front of the picture real quick. Unleashing the power of the consciousness, matter, and miracles. This is by Bruce H. Lipton, PhD. And I just saw him on YouTube the other day. He's a very renowned scientist, neuroscientist, and he has just come up with so many things as far as the mind goes and the way it works. And I'm telling you, it's a very good book. Have you ever driven a car and arrived at your destination and then realized you don't remember any of the details of driving there? The lights have turned. The traffic you just went through. This is one of the most common examples of the power of your subconscious mind. And Bruce says, I discovered that when we compete, the conscious, your waking mind, and the subconscious mind, the driver that's below the surface, the subconscious mind always wins. It's funny, we're functioning 95% of the day with a more powerful mind that was programmed by other people. That's right, all of your limited beliefs. That's right, we were talking about that yesterday in the section that we were working on that section, that it was about getting rid of your limitations that will prevent you from going someplace, yet we can't see unless we purposely become aware of it. This is Dr. Bruce Lipton in Biology of Belief, the book I just showed you. So how many times I'd drive somewhere with my grandma and I'd say, how did we get here, Grandma? Or we'd drive right past the destination. Your subconscious mind is far more powerful than your conscious mind. This is scary because we're always in our conscious mind. Your subconscious mind directs your choices and your drinking habits more than your conscious mind does. Today, with the subconscious mind solution, we will conclude our deep dive into the sobriety system by teaching you how to use the power of your subconscious mind to thrive in sobriety, not just to get by, but to thrive. That's right. The recording of your life. It says the diagram of the sobriety system illustrates how we want our lives to be in harmony with our core values. When you contradict those values, you experience internal conflict, which contributes to your desire to use. Yesterday, we covered the importance of your beliefs and how they drive your decisions you make that either support or conflict with your core values. That's right. When you have the values that you don't want to drink, but you do drink, there's a conflict there. However, many of your beliefs are hidden in your subconscious and are therefore they're harder to become aware of and to change. You're saying, people made me do this, but it was really your subconscious mind in your past training. The subconscious is defined as the mental activities, the ideas, impressions, and urges just below the threshold of consciousness. This is why, as a hypnotherapist, I take you down past your conscious mind into the relaxation of your subconscious mind. What your subconscious really is an easy way to explain it that I can remember, is that it is the driver of your behavior. It just drives. It's like the car. Okay, it doesn't have any feelings like your mind does. Okay, your subconscious is just the driver. It's trained. 1, 2, 3, go. That's right. So your subconscious actually influences all of your feelings, your judgments, and your behavior. Your subconscious mind contains all of your programming, like I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, things you got from your childhood. Like a video recording device with unlimited storage, it keeps record of everything that's happened to you and around you. However, it plays back only the most powerful recordings or programmings from your past. The stuff that got stuck down in there, and this is what therapists are here for. This is what our whole thing is, to get you and clean up that subconscious, right, so you can consciously be happy and have a better life. The most powerful programs in your subconscious are your beliefs. You know, people will die for their beliefs. Look at politics right now. You attach religion to a belief, and they were the bloodiest wars that ever were. Remember this. When you're agreeing and disagreeing and arguing with people over these politics, they're just not worth it, people. The most powerful programs in your subconscious mind are your beliefs. When you have a strong beliefs that's in sync with your core values, the benefits are extraordinary. Strong limiting beliefs like the ones you uncovered yesterday and others that are still buried in your subconscious impede your ability to cut back or to stop using drugs. The subconscious mind solution will teach you the power and the significance of the subconscious and how to work with it to thrive in sobriety. Now, I made that video right before this one, which is all about explaining the subconscious mind. And if you listen to that, that will help you too. It's the one right before day 12. In between day 11 and day 12, I made a most fantastic video. Most of your behavior is unconscious. Your subconscious mind does not argue with you. It accepts what your conscious mind decrees. If you say, I can't afford it, your subconscious mind works to make it true. And this is from Dr. Joseph Murphy, 1898 to 1981, the author of The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. And Joseph Murphy was a very famous therapist. You could read up on him. Research suggests that most of your behavior is unconscious. Think of your consciousness like an iceberg, where the conscious mind is just the tip. That's right, and the rest of the iceberg is below the water, which is most of it, and this represents your subconscious mind. The amount of mental activity occurring outside your conscious awareness is massive. It is understandable to be a little skeptical about how much your subconscious directs the decisions you make every day. Up until recently, the study of the unconscious was often dismissed as pop psychology. However, recent science has proven that the influence of the subconscious in our life is immense. That's right. Dr. Bruce Lipton, a leading research in psychology and best-selling author of The Biology of Belief, explains that our subconscious is more than 1,000,000 times more powerful than the conscious mind. This is why when you tell yourself you'll quit smoking or stop drinking, your subconscious mind keeps doing it. You've got to change at the subconscious level. That's right, the subconscious can handle 1,000,000 bits of information per second, compared with the conscious mind, which can only handle about 40 bits of information per second. That's still a lot. So the subconscious mind is the part of your mind that never forgets. That's why we hypnotize you to remember stuff, because the subconscious remembers everything. Think about when you first learned to drive a car. The amount of information you had to absorb all at once was overwhelming, especially if you were learning to drive a stick shift. You had to keep your eye on the road in front of you, regularly look into your rear view mirror, pay attention to the traffic around you, watch for the traffic signs and the traffic lights, stay under the speed limit, and follow the rules of the lane changing, turning, yielding, and merging with other traffic. I remember my friends told me you used to just sit there with your eyes pinned to the road when you were driving. You were so focused you looked ridiculous. But you know what? That's because I had to take in a lot. Having a conversation with a passenger, changing the radio station, or drinking coffee was virtually impossible when you're first learning to drive. Now fast forward to today. And when was the last time you went on an errand and didn't even remember the details of the driving? Maybe you were lost in a great song, or you were in the middle of an important conversation, and the next thing you knew, you were at your destination. That happens because your subconscious mind took over. It had been programmed countless times over the years to drive safely. There is too much going on for your conscious mind to process it all. So when your focus shifts, your subconscious kicks in, and most of the time you're not even aware it's happening. Wow, wow, wow. Our behavior has been programmed, and we are operating from the subconscious mind. That's right. You may believe that your conscious thinking can create your reality, and that by changing your conscious thoughts, you can learn to thrive in society. However, your behavior is far more representative of your subconscious mind than your conscious. That's right. That's why they always say bring the subconscious up to the consciousness to heal. Dr. Drew Pinsky, an addiction expert and producer and star of the reality TV show Celebrity Rehab, says that addiction operates outside of consciousness. That's right, people. So when you tell yourself, I'm not going to drink today, your subconscious little mind has it all planned out. Remember, your beliefs lead to your actions and behaviors. So until you can change your subconscious limiting beliefs, you will sabotage your efforts to become and remain sober, or to stay on that diet, or to exercise or go to the gym, or to change your relationship habits. That's right. You might not even know how or why you're sabotaging yourself, because just like when you're driving your car, your subconscious takes over without consciously deciding when and where to go. Everybody just taking a deep breath. Don't worry about those outside noises. Somebody's drilling out there and we don't care. We can focus. Lottery winners going bankrupt. According to a recent study, lottery winners declare bankruptcy twice the rate of the general population. How is this possible? It's because the subconscious, which includes your limiting beliefs, sabotages you. Your subconscious works like a thermostat. If you set the thermostat at 70 degrees and the temperature goes up or down, your air conditioning or heat will turn on. Similarly, if you are programmed to believe that you don't deserve to have a lot of money, then when you all of a sudden come into a windfall, your subconscious will kick in and bring you back to where you believe you should be, into your comfort zone. Oh, wow, wow, wow. This is where you really, really want to put this in your journal. The universe doesn't give you what you ask for. It gives you what you vibrate at, and that is your subconscious mind. This operates the same way with sobriety. If deep down your self-concept and self-image are of being drunk or high, your subconscious will always work to bring you back to this core identity. If you don't change the limiting beliefs and images in your subconscious, you will have a hard time making progress and staying sober. That's it right there, folks. It's all in your subconscious under your awareness. So how do we deal with this? In his book, Subliminal, How Your Unconscious Mind Rules Your Behavior, best-selling author and physicist Leonard Mlodinow captures the importance of understanding the interaction between our awareness and the subconscious when he writes, our subliminal brain is invisible to us, yet it influences our conscious experience of the world in the most fundamental ways. Mlodinow explains an interesting study on how the subconscious can influence our actions, totally outside of our awareness. Ironically, this study was done on wine purchases. In the study, 4 French and 4 German wines were placed in an English supermarket, and the French or German music was played in the background on alternating days. On the days when the French music was played, 77% of the wine sold was French. And on the days when the German music was played, 73% of the wine purchased was German. This is a powerful example of how subconscious can be influenced and how it can exert influence over our decisions without our conscious awareness. Bill Wilson, the co-founder of AA, writes, how shall our unconscious, from which so many of our fears, compulsions, and phony aspirations still stream, be brought into line with what we actually believe, know, and want? How to convince our dumb, raging, and hidden Mr. High becomes our main task. We agree. When you get your subconscious synchronized with what you really want, your conscious desires and dreams that you have started to identify during the first 2 weeks, it becomes much easier to maintain your desired results. So here's the clinch for this program. Here's the secret to why it's been working so well. We deal with your subconscious mind. Just remember that. And we'll get to how we're going to do this, because the how is so important. That's right. The first 6 years of your life, many psychologists believe the first 6 or 7 years of your life completely form your personality, especially most powerful beliefs, because during this time, the subconscious is easily programmable. Think of this programming as if you are writing notes with a pencil, and you can use only one sheet of paper. The first time you write something, it's clear and easy to read, but once you fill up the page, you have to erase what you wrote earlier in order to write more. And the more often you write on the paper, the harder it is to erase the previous writings. This is one of the reasons why early childhood is the best time to teach children languages and how to play instruments. And also why we explained on day 4 in the forgiveness solution, traumatic events from your childhood leave such a negative, lasting impact. But don't worry, all of this can be changed. The great news is that a lot of the previous solutions have already started to reprogram your subconscious over the past 2 weeks. We're changing your subconscious. You will learn many other solutions that work at the subconscious level as well at the conscious level. Now, let's look at the sobriety system one last time. And then this is the system in the book. It is a system, and it is in a square, and at the top it says the sobriety system. And the first one is your core values, okay? And then you have your thoughts, which are influenced by your core values. And this is conscious and unconscious or subconscious, okay? And then you have your beliefs, your limiting beliefs, right? Then you have your feelings and emotions. Then you have your actions, behaviors, and habits. All of these are affected into the sobriety system. And then you have your results and your outcomes. So again, you have your core values. Then your thoughts, subconscious and conscious. Then you have your limiting beliefs, right? Then your feelings and emotions. Then your actions, your habits. This is what we're trying to take, for you to take back here, is to have actions and behaviors, okay, that are sober. But first we have to process feelings and emotions and get rid of the limiting beliefs, okay, and change your thinking, change your life, okay? So, even though we have placed the subconscious under thoughts, the subconscious really serves as the engine that powers both your thoughts and your beliefs. It's just the engine. The more often, let's see. So, let's go back here. Think of this programming as if you're writing notes with a pencil and you can only use one sheet of paper. And the first time you write something, it's clear and it's easy to read. You're filling up the page. The more you write on the page, the harder it is to erase the previous writings. This is the main reasons why early childhood is the best time to teach the children the languages and how to play instruments. And why also explained on day 4 in the forgiveness solution. Traumatic events from your childhood leave such a lasting negative impact. This can all be changed. The great news is that a lot of the previous day solutions have already started to reprogram your subconscious, and over the next 2 weeks, you'll learn many other solutions that work at the subconscious level as well as at the conscious level. Let's look at the sobriety system one last time, and we just went through that. Okay, so for example, Dave was 5 years old, and his 8-year-old brother showed him a gallon jug of wine with the screw cap that was stored in the lower cabinet in the kitchen. His brother told Dave that if he wanted to feel good, he could drink some of the wine. So Dave, he was only 5 years old, okay? And one night after the parents were put him to bed, they discovered him in the kitchen drinking from the wine jug. He doesn't know how many times he did this, but you can see how Dave's subconscious created a strong belief that drinking is feeling good. While this is a common belief for many of us, the fact that this programming was formed at an early age is much harder for Dave to break. However, once he understood this, he used the same techniques you are learning here to reprogram his subconscious with the belief that sober is what really makes him feel good. That's it. It's all just mindset. Now, the elephant in the room. When you wrote your 30-day vision statement that was on day 2 and set goals on day 6, we instructed you not to write them in the negative, because the conscious mind can understand the meaning of negative words such as no, not, won't. It understands the meaning intended by the phrases quit drinking and cutting back drinking and using drugs. However, numerous studies have proven that the subconscious mind does not understand negatives. Remember, I told you it's just like a car. It has no feelings or thoughts. It's just 1, 2, 3, go. So if you're saying to yourself, do not drink, or I will not go to bars, then that's all you think about. It's the elephant in the room, okay? I used to always say, don't get mad in the parking lot at school. And also, don't talk too much. And I did both every single day. I would get mad driving around. I couldn't find parking. And then I would talk too much because I would say, don't do it. When you read the words, Don't think about elephants. That's the most likely what you picture in your mind. Elephants. And when you tell children do not do something, quite often they do exactly what you tell them not to do. This isn't necessarily that they're trying to defy you. It's because the prefrontal cortex, it's all science, folks, the part of the brain that is responsible for analyzing thoughts and regulating behavior, is not fully developed. And when they did not process the not or the don't, think of it this way. If you tell a 2-year-old not to slam the screen door, the subconscious forms a picture of slamming the screen door, and that's what the child does. Instead, you would say, please, close the screen door gently. Once you stop focusing on and talking about how to cut back drinking or how to quit using drugs, put more energy into deleting old programming, installing new programming. With the focus on positive thoughts and images of a sober, happy life, you experience a dramatic shift in your desire to use. So changing the subconscious mind, folks. We're almost to the end of this awesome, awesome lesson. That's right. Now, how do we change it? Well, the solutions in the 30-day sobriety solution have changed me in ways I never imagined possible, and Hannah says. On a conscious level, the changes are easy for me to recognize. But the most unexpected and powerful results of this program is that I finally feel I have changed my subconscious programming and limiting beliefs that were always sabotaging my ability to get and stay sober. Today, my life and my new story are exciting, and I know these great changes are going to last. Whatever you consciously and repeatedly think about, accompanied by strong emotions, will reprogram your subconscious over time. This is what we do when you're in trance. We kick in a lot of strong emotions, like how great your skin will look when you stop drinking, how your eyes will glow, how your hair will get thicker. It's really that simple. And when you pop in these things into the subconscious mind, it's just like magic. And throughout the entire program, we are teaching you the most effective techniques for accomplishing this. See, it's a game, people. It's a mind game. And you wonder why some people can't just stop drinking and going to meetings and listen to other people's stories. I am giving you tools here. We are giving you tools. The author of this book and all of my expertise of working with addictions and habits. For example, you might be in the sick phase. You might be sick of the phrase thriving in sobriety. We use it a lot, but there's an important reason why. Although cutting back or quitting using is the goal that you start with, it's just a step toward the larger goal of living a happy and fulfilling sober life. That's right. Or thriving in society. And we want to continually activate the positive, right? On day 1, we define sobriety as the moderation or abstinence from the consumption of alcohol or drugs. So when you use the word sobriety, even if your goal is to cut back, this still applies. The strategy behind using the phrase thriving in sobriety repeatedly throughout each solution is to reprogram the subconscious to focus constantly on that outcome, thriving in sobriety. Okay? So we've come to the end of this lecture, and now we have your 12 action steps, so make sure you have your journal out. If there's one solution that can put in sobriety on cruise control in your life, it is the subconscious mind. Just like when you're driving your car, pretty soon, people, it will be that easy. And yet today, we're going to give you a lot of exercises to complete. We're not going to give you a lot. Yay. Rather, we just want you to stress the importance of working to reprogram your subconscious and the roles that play in creating and sustaining a life of thriving in sobriety. So, the important thing is reprogram yourself for success before bed. While you're lying in your bed at night, before sleep, spend 5 minutes focusing on your goals, dreams, and desires. Make them vivid, including your thriving in sobriety goals. Do this before you fall asleep. It's a very effective way of helping you to reprogram your subconscious overnight, because unlike your conscious mind, your subconscious never really goes to sleep. Think about it as going into a dream. Simply take time to visualize all your dreams and goals as already completed. What would you be seeing, hearing, and feeling? complete all of the guided recordings. On the companion website, we have included guided imagery exercises for many of the past solutions that are perfect for retraining your subconscious. If you haven't done this yet, please do so today. In addition, review some past solutions and explore more deeply how they are already helping to reprogram your subconscious. That's right. And all of these extra tools are to help you on http:// two slanted dashes day12.solutions. That's right. Now, identify your subconscious drinking links. Okay? Now, this is set aside a few minutes to write in your journal the situation, time, places, emotional states. Happy, sad, angry, and bored. When you used to use. Also note if any of the situations were time when you really craved using. Then take a minute and see if you can recall any incidents from your childhood that helped create these links. For example, maybe every night when your dad came home from work, he would drink to take the edge off or use drugs. Or maybe no one ever watched a football game or TV without a six-pack of beer. Maybe you were conditioned, or somebody in your home would become abusive when they drank or used. Or maybe the only time your parents seemed to have fun is when they were using drugs. Take your time to acknowledge these subconscious lessons you learned as a child. They can reveal the source of deep programming that have been causing your greatest struggles. However, don't worry. If you can recall any childhood events, just the process of consciously looking for those events now can lead to remembering some of them in the following weeks and months. So this is just about really going deep, people. You want to identify your subconscious drinking links. Where did you pick it up? Where did you pick up the drugs? Could it have been in high school, in junior high? Where did you pick it up that it was good to use? That's right. Now, be sure to visit the companion website. I told you http day 12 solutions, where we address hypnotism, one of the concepts that relates directly to the topic of the subconscious and why it works for some, why it doesn't for others, and how we are all hypnotized. And this is the end of day 13. I am so proud of you. I know you can do this. Hang in there. I believe in you. You do the work, and that subconscious will be retrained. This is where you want to train yourself, in your subconscious mind. I'll be rooting for you, and I will see you. Have a blessed day. I will see you in your dreams.